Hello TK, welcome to your reading lesson. Today we will begin with our objective. Remember, our objective is what we are going to learn. It's what we're going to be thinking about and what we're going to really be focusing on. So for today, at the end of our lesson, you will be able to use complete sentences to tell a story. So go ahead and repeat your objective after me. I can use complete sentences to tell a story. So the stories we're going to be talking about, we're going to be making up stories for our activity page 2. So this is what we're going to do after. This is going to be your assignment. First, we are going to complete our lesson with activity page 1. So you will need this paper, you will need a pencil, and you will need your yellow crayon. For activity page 2, we will be using 2 other colors, but for now, you only need your yellow crayon. Alright TK, so if you look at your activity page 1, you are going to see a picture. What do you see on this picture? This is actually our setting. Who remembers what our setting is? Our setting is where the story takes place. So where did La Tortuga take place? Who remembers? Was it in a forest? Was it in somebody's cabin? Or was it in Mexico? It was in Mexico, right? Yeah, the setting of La Tortuga was in Mexico. So in Mexico, they actually use a different language to speak to each other. They use a language called Spanish. Many of you might know this language, and many of you might already know the 2 words I'm going to show you next. So the words I'm going to show you are yes and no. In Spanish, you say yes by saying sí, and you say no by saying no. So now you're going to get out your worksheet and your yellow crayon, and you're going to use the 2 words you just learned in Spanish, sí for yes and no for no. And we are going to be completing these next few questions. So look at your activity page 1. Look at the hole in the tree. Is the hole in the tree a circle? Sí or no? If you answered sí, go ahead and use your yellow crayon, circle your hole in the circle and color it yellow. Go ahead and do that. Okay, next question. Is the sun in the sky? Do you see the sun in the sky? Sí or no? If you answered sí, that means yes. Go ahead and trace your round circle, your round sun I should say, and color your sun yellow. I'm going to trace my sun, and now I will color it yellow with my yellow crayon. Just like that. All right, now let's go ahead and move on to our next question. If we take a look down at the bottom of our picture, we see our horse being pulled by a wagon. In this wagon, do you see the wheel? Is that wheel a round circle? Sí or no? Sí. If you answered sí also, that means yes, it is a round circle. Go ahead and use your yellow crayon, trace your circle, and then color inside the circle with yellow. So first, I'm going to trace my circle of the wheel, and now I'm going to color it in with my yellow crayon. This is a much bigger circle than the ones I just colored. Make sure you're holding your paper. Make sure you're coloring all of the white spots, and try to stay inside the lines. Alright TK, now that you finished coloring your wheel, I'm going to move on to our next question. In our next question, I want you to look at the house. Go ahead and look at the windows. Are these windows in the shape of a circle? Sí or no? Sí, right? I think they are in the shape of a circle. So with your yellow crayon, I want you to trace each of your circles, each of your windows, and color them in with your yellow crayon. Go ahead. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 windows that are in the shape of a circle. 1, 2, and 3. Good job. Alright, TK, my last question for you on this page. Do you see our main character, La Tortuga, on your page? Sí o no? No, right? La Tortuga is not on this worksheet, so you don't need to color anything yellow. You are all done with this worksheet. Let's go ahead and turn the page. We will now be working on our second page. For this next sheet, our step 1 is to write our name. I think we forgot to on the last worksheet, but that's okay. Your first and your last name. Once you've completed that, you can put your pencil away. And for this worksheet, as you can see at the top, you're going to need your red crayon, your yellow crayon, and your blue crayon. I want you to use these 3 crayons to match them to their correct turtle. You can see their dot on each of these turtles. Each of these crayons belongs to one of their turtles. I'm going to go ahead and complete the yellow turtle for you, the yellow turtle shell. So I'm going to use my yellow crayon, and I know that yellow matches with yellow. So this turtle is going to be yellow. It's going to have a yellow shell. So I'm going to trace my circle just like we did with the other sheet. Trace my round circle. After I've traced it, I'm going to color it in so I know that this turtle is my yellow-shelled turtle. You will do the same thing with red and blue. One will be the red-shelled turtle and one will be the blue-shelled turtle. And the one I'm coloring right now, this is going to be my yellow-shelled turtle. So they're each going to have different colored shells. Alright, TK, now this is where it gets fun. This is where we're going to bring out our objective again. This is where you're going to be using these skills to complete your activity. You're going to be using complete sentences to make up stories for each of your turtles. So for example, for my yellow-shelled turtle, I'm going to use complete sentences to tell you and explain to you why this turtle got a yellow turtle shell. So, once upon a time, there was a turtle, and he loved bananas. This turtle was always getting offered bananas, and one day, his best friend came walking by and gave him a big pile of yellow bananas. This turtle was sitting there eating, till finally he got so full that he needed a drink of water. So he wobbled over to the pond, and when he looked in the pond, he saw his reflection, and he saw that his shell turned yellow. And that is how this turtle got his yellow shell. Alright, TK, so that was my example of how this turtle got his yellow shell. Now I want you to tell me your version of how your turtles got their red, blue, and yellow shells. I can't wait to hear all of your amazing stories. I'm looking forward to hearing all of them. Bye, TK. Good luck.